Would I recommend heterosexual people go to LGBT bars? Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think it's a whole different experience, honestly. Um, I think that the people who are most comfortable, like my male friends who are like so comfortable in their masculinity, will go to LGBT bars with me, and they'll get hit on and they'll love it, and they'll just be like, "No, thank you. This is my girlfriend, or I have a wife, or whatever it is." But they're like, I was out this past weekend. I was out with a friend who was married, and he got hit on, and he was like, "Oh no, thank you, I have a wife." And he was like the first one in our group to get hit on. And I was like, "That's not even fair, dude." um, I think it's important for people to open their worldview, and if that means going to an LGBT bar, then so be it. Like, life is about experience and learning, and like there's no better way to learn than being a fish out of water and trying something outside of your comfort zone. It's interesting too at LGBT bars because, or if you're not, if you're heterosexual and going to them, it's like, it's a whole different reason for going to a bar. You're there with friends, you're there to, with friends or to make friends. And it's so much less sexually charged. And there's probably a lot less pressure. Like when I go to a straight bar, it's just, I'm just there with my friends and having a great time. And I don't even worry about, you know, how I look or how I appear to other people. I just shed all of that insecurity and I'm just there and super present. And I think it's great.
I agree. I definitely agree. Being gay myself, I definitely, I agree. People should open themselves up to new experiences, but the problem with some heterosexuals is that they don't want to. So, yeah. But that's cool that, that that's really cool that you can go to a LGBT bar and have your heterosexual friends there with you as well.
No, hopefully in the future, people be able to go wherever they want to and not worry whether people are going to say, are you in the right place, or this is the only gay bar or heterosexual bar. People's fascination with what people do and don't do is very interesting to me. I don't know why people have to mind other people's business if it does not apply to them personally. I mean, to me personally, what other people do in their apartment, in their privacy, whether there's being lesbians or gays, it does not affect me in any way. So I don't care what they do, whether they want to get married or want to have children. To me, it's not an issue. It does not affect me personally. I don't care. So this fascination that some people have about you should not do this, you should not do that, it makes me wonder about their own issues, about their own personal problems that they're having. So this is my answer. This is Holger Fiala from Chicago, Illinois.
I should also like to point out that going to, you know, opening yourself up to new experience is also very liberating. But it's only liberating, it's only useful if the other person wants to experience things. But if you have somebody that is very conservative and very set in their beliefs, I wouldn't take them anywhere with you. Leave your conservative friends at home, because they're just going to ruin it for you.
I believe that they should. I mean, it's a great experience. And it doesn't mean that you're gay. You just go and have fun. You feel comfortable. You feel more at ease. People are nice. You get hit on, and that makes you, even though you say, no, thank you, I'm married or have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whatever that case could be, it brings your morality up a little bit more, saying, hey, you know what? I am good looking. I am great. These people really know what taste is all about, because sometimes at straight bars, it's all boring to me. Even though I'm gay, but it's still boring to me. It's more active. People are more happier in a gay bar. They're not plastered and drunk and acting stupid, you know. They're just having a good time with other people, dancing or just talking, getting to know other people and getting hit on. And I think that's exciting when somebody comes up to you and say, hey, you know, how about if I buy you a drink, or, you know, I think you're nice, you look nice. Oh, thank you. You know, compliments do great for everybody. And I wish that more people would go to gay bars. I know a lot of straight people that have gone to gay bars, and they'd rather go to a gay bar, men, than women, because they feel at ease. They feel like they just feel good about themselves. And like I said, it doesn't make you gay. It's just a happier place to be at. That's what I think.
You know, I went to a lesbian bar once. I think I was in Greenwich Village. My cousin is a musician and she's gay, and so I was there. Yes, I sat at the bar and had a drink, and the bartender was female, and the two chicks on either side of me were female. And the only phrase that came to mind was water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. I should have added that there was another time where I was at a gay bar here in Kansas City. I just walked in to get a couple of six packs because it was Sunday and you can't get booze on Sunday, or back then you couldn't for whatever reason. They didn't. There was nowhere nearby that had booze, so there was this bar right up the street from where I lived. So because the woman I was dating was, how shall I say this? She imbibed in alcohol, so I was on a mission. So I walked in there, and of course, being totally blind with a cane, I had all kinds of offers to, you can fit here, sweetheart. And I was like, no. Thanks, but that's okay, man. Sweetheart, right here. I'm like, no. Not that I'm homophobic or nothing, but no. So I got the beer and got out of there. Now, here's a weird backstory. Robert Berdella, who most people outside of Kansas City never heard of. He was a mass serial murderer. He would pick up gay men and take them back to his place. And on the way up the steps, he popped a syringe in the back of their necks. And when they woke up, he had sewed their eyes shut. In fact, one of the guys got away naked and found the police to talk to, and they didn't believe what the guy said. They figured it was just a couple of guys, domestic. So they put him back in the hands of this murderer. And incidentally, he was killed later on while in prison. So just a little backstory that, wow. I always wonder if he was one of the guys that was trying to get me to have a seat. So, there you go. Very insightful post.
Well, that was nice that someone hit on you a couple of times. Ah, it's not that bad, buddy. It's not that bad. It's like a compliment. But I'm glad you went, got your beer, and then took off. Good that you were thinking about safety. That's one good thing. You always have to think about safety. But, so what is the difference between a lesbian bar and a gay bar? Let me know. I've never been to a lesbian bar.
I don't think it's a matter of should they or could they. But the question is, do they and will they? And I know some friends, yes, they do. Why not? I mean, you think you're just because you're a sodomite that you're something unto yourselves? The sodomites go to the heterosexual bars. So, if that's what a heterosexual wants to do, why should they be excluded from the sodomite place? I wouldn't go there by choice. But if I wanted to, it should be open to me. just like the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts have been opened to the sodomites.
Of course, gay people, homosexuals, faggots, whatever you want to call them, of course they should go to gay bars, of course.
I enjoy going to LGBT bars. It's different. I think it's interesting that you say when guys are more comfortable in their masculinity, because I've experienced being there with guys and they're not comfortable. I mean, I never thought of it as them not being comfortable with their masculinity, but I've definitely noticed where, they're getting either stared at or flirted with in some way, and it's kind of it makes them very uncomfortable. But I tend to get along with that community sometimes better, differently than with the straight community.
Well, after Man of God's sermon, I'm going to say this. You know what? Some of the best times I had in college, and yeah, I'm from the South, but I did go. But some of the best times I had in college were at the gay bars. You could go, have a good time, and you knew your friends would get you home.
I think absolutely heterosexual people should go to gay bars, but the only issue I would have, I think Progressive touched on this earlier, is the issue about like if they were homophobic, narrow-minded, and they were quite discriminatory when they got there. I mean, that would be my concern. And how would you kind of stop that, really? I mean, it doesn't mean that they shouldn't go, but it would just be something to be aware of. I haven't been, just because the friends of mine who would define themselves as LGBT are from quite religious backgrounds, and they're not really out yet, so they haven't yet come to that place where they feel safe enough to go. But that's the only reason. I would definitely go. I wouldn't have any qualms about going, not at all.
If you're a straight single guy, it's pointless to go to a gay bar, because straight single guys are going out to pick up chicks and hoping to get laid. Why would you go to a gay bar? It's pointless.
Why would a straight person go to a gay bar? That makes no sense at all. I don't get it.
Hey, Sarah, it's Cass. So to go to these LGBT bars, the first time I've gone to an LGBT bar was last year when I was attending training at Blind Ink in Minneapolis. That was my major breakout time to go and do all the stuff I wanted to do without being criticized by straight people and whatever. I live with a very strict militant family, so pretty much everything you do will be questioned and criticized most of the time. So, being on my own in Minnesota with all that, I did all that stuff. I went out to the drag queen parties, very often. It was a lot of fun, to the point where they actually started remembering me and remembering my name and doing all these shout outs, and it's a whole different experience. And you're right, it's a lot more, I believe it's a lot more fun than going to straight bars and nightclubs. Oh my goodness. That bar nightclub with the 6 bars in there is called Gay 90s in downtown Minneapolis. I think it's 408 Hennepin Ave or something like that. But however, it is the most fun. I call it the Babylon of Minneapolis. Gay 90s. It's funny. It's a short name taken from that show Queer as Folk. So I just stole their name and called Gay 90s Babylon because they have strobe lights and like it's really cool. Good stuff, good vibes, fun times, cool people. Yeah, you'll get hit on, but that doesn't mean you gotta stop having fun. Continue to have fun. There's another one next down the street from there. It's called Brass Rail. I haven't been in there yet, but one of these days it's gonna happen. I actually had a lot of fun, and I plan to go back to that location one more time just for some more fun before I fly away to Massachusetts again.
I've said it before on my LGBT thread, and I've said it before on many other occasions, even way before I created my LGBT thread. There are people who are just extremely narrow-minded and homophobic that say, well, being gay is a lifestyle, being lesbian is a lifestyle, it's a choice, this, that, and the other thing. Okay, that's great. And I guess to some extent it could be a choice. But if being gay and being lesbian is a choice, then being straight also has to be a choice, and it also has to be a lifestyle as well. You can't say that being gay is a lifestyle, but being straight is better because you want to have your cake and eat it too. If you want everyone to be equal, and you want to say that being gay is a lifestyle, then being straight should also be considered a lifestyle. If you want it that way, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And this goes out to the people that say, well, I don't agree with homosexuality, I don't agree with lesbianism, I don't agree with transgenderism, or transgender, I don't know the word for that, but just people who are transgender. For somebody to say that they don't agree with that stuff, for somebody to say that they don't agree with the LGBTQ lifestyle, is kind of stupid, because so the LGBT community is a lifestyle, but being straight isn't. What sense does that make? Furthermore, how can you sit here and say that, you have friends who are LGBTQ, but you don't agree with it? You love them, but you don't agree with it. That's stupid. That's like me saying I've got black friends, but I don't agree with being black. I don't agree with that lifestyle because, whatever the reason, it's just as stupid, It's just, there's nothing, I've said it before and I'll say it again, there's nothing to agree or disagree with. Being LGBTQ is just who you are, just like being black is just who you are, just like being straight is just who you are, and there's nothing that you can do to change it. A straight person will never become gay. A gay person will never become straight. It's not a thing where you can wake up and say, oh, I think I'm going to choose to be straight today. Oh, I think I'm going to choose to be white today because I don't like being black anymore. Oh, I think I'm going to choose to be a different ethnicity because I don't like being Chinese, or I don't like being Asian, or I don't want to be African anymore. It's like, it doesn't work that way. And so for those people that say, well, I don't agree with homosexuality and this, that, and the other thing, I suggest you stay out of the gay bars. I suggest you stay out of LGBTQ related affairs. I suggest you ditch your LGBTQ friends, because let me tell you something. As somebody that has been disowned by several people who I thought were my friends as soon as they found out that I was gay, I'm glad they're no longer my friends, because you know what? I don't need homophobia in my life. I don't need LGBT phobia in my life. I don't need racism in my life. I don't need bigotry in my life. I don't need sexism in my life. I don't need any of that stuff in my life. So if you don't agree with people who are LGBTQ, I suggest that if you have any friends who are LGBTQ, kick them to the curb immediately. And I speak for everyone in the LGBTQ community that when I say we're not going to shed a tear if you decide to disown us because you don't agree with our quote-unquote lifestyle. In fact, you're doing us a big favor by ditching us. So, yeah.
Man of God, where is your Christian value, kindness to other people, instead of sodomites, why don't you just call them gay or lesbians? You are showing your ignorance and prejudice, my friend. Come on, I expect better from you, and hopefully everybody else expects better from someone who calls himself Christian. I don't know, this fascination that people keep having about what people are or why they're doing those kind of things. Seriously, human beings tend to be so ignorant. Maybe it makes me wonder about all of you people. Seriously, your prejudice, your ignorance, and your, well, I was going to say another word, but I'm leaving it alone.
Society is beyond messed up in understanding each other. It seems as though everyone has their own opinions and will fight to make their point be heard. They'll fight in what they believe in. So one of the things that I just cannot understand is if somebody's lifestyle is different, like if LGBTQIA is a lifestyle different from the norm, they're not interfering with societies. So why are they picking on them? They're not doing anything wrong. They're not committing crime. They're trying to be who they are. They're trying to be themselves. But unfortunately, society picks on them because they have nothing else to do. They don't really want to take the time to educate, and they want to back it up using religion. And it's too bad that religion didn't accommodate this lifestyle, even though LGBTQI has been around since the beginning of humanity.
To add to the point that I made, although I'm not sure if I did it well, maybe I did it well enough the previous time, but, you know, it really pisses me off when people say that they detest homosexuality, but they choose to have gay friends. That doesn't sit well with me. That's like if I was to say, well, I have Mexican friends, but I don't agree with the Mexican culture, or I don't agree with the fact that you're Mexican. Do you know how stupid that sounds? That shouldn't even be classified as an opinion. I mean, that mentality just harbors a whole bunch of all kinds of bigotry, discrimination, and to be honest, if people detest homosexuality so much, then don't have homosexual friends. Don't have gay friends. Don't have lesbian friends. Don't have transgender friends. Leave the LGBTQ community alone and just be friends with your straight friends. Since you think that being straight is normal and being gay is an abomination. Because, like I said in my previous post, I'm not going to shed a tear if you disown me because I'm gay. I'd much rather you do that than stay another minute being my friend, knowing full well that you don't like some part of me that I can't control. Just like you can't control the fact that you're blind, you can't control the fact that you're black, you can't control the fact that you're Asian, you can't control the fact, whatever it may be, you can't control those things. So, yeah. And like I said in my previous post, to those people that think that being gay is a lifestyle, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say that being gay is a lifestyle, but being straight isn't.
Well, first of all, Holgar, since you put this on the public thread, I will comment on the public thread. First of all, I never told you that I was a Christian. I told you that I follow the ways of the Lord Jesus Christ and his scriptures and the word of God. And in the word of God, sodomy is a sin. Now, if you don't agree with that, then you go against the scriptures, and that is your choice. But I do agree with it, and I will say that I agree with it, and it has nothing to do whether I have what you call Christian values or not. There are some things that are sins, and they go against the Word of God, and they are wrong. If you choose to get involved with those things, that is your choice. But don't tell me that I don't have Christian values, though I'm not really sure what that is. But I do follow the word of Jesus Christ, and sodomy is wrong. Whether you call them gays or lesbians, whatever they are, that's deceitful in itself. And even people who are sodomites will tell you that whoever thought of the word gay was an idiot, because it should never have been that way. That's deceptive, and it's not telling the truth. So I'm sorry you don't appreciate what I have to say, but don't judge me because I haven't judged you as an individual. So I would appreciate it that you didn't do that to me. Thank you. It couldn't possibly have been around since the beginning of humanity because God created man and woman. So how could sodomy have been around in the beginning of humanity?
A lesbian, it's all good, right?
Okay, I'm only going to make one comment on this because I feel that it's necessary. And then, man of God, if you would like to take the discussion private, I'm perfectly okay with that. But, Christian or not, if you follow the scriptures, you also know that we are to be merciful and show mercy. People who are gay often do not choose it. It's not like they decided they want to wake up one morning and choose a lifestyle that is contrary to everybody else that's around them, that's, different. It's not a choice all the time. And I realize that you can choose or not choose to commit certain sins, and at times sin has dominion over you. But I feel that the way that you are expressing yourself right now is in a manner that is harsh and judgmental and almost kind of in your face and snitty. And I don't think I don't think that you are approaching things in the spirit that Jesus would have used, were he to have said the same things.
There's nothing wrong with that. I went to a lesbian bar a couple times with an ex-girlfriend of mine, and there was good live music, cheap drinks, fun people, and it was a good time.
Here's my experience with straight people going to gay bars. I have brought straight male friends, straight women friends, and when I bring straight male friends that aren't comfortable in their sexuality, they feel very uncomfortable, but there's always women there, straight women, who go with their gay male friends. So they end up having a good time because they know that they're not all just men there. There's other people there who are hanging out, having fun, and getting to experience what life is. It's not always about trying to hook up. That's not what bars should be about. It's about fun. Now, when I bring straight men who are comfortable in their own skin, they really enjoy themselves. They like the drag shows. They like seeing other lesbians there, of course, and all that stuff. It's just really entertaining. Now, when I bring straight women there who are mostly comfortable in their own skin, they love it. They get hit on by women. They think it's a compliment. They see gay men dancing with each other, flirting with each other. They get turned on by it. You know, they just are there for a good time. And that's what it's really all about. I've had straight women turn other quote-unquote gay men. It was so funny. I'm just like, oh, maybe he's not gay. I mean, this guy, I've seen him with lots of guys before. But, yeah, the woman I brought there was very attractive. And they end up dancing together. And I'm like, oh. So, it's just very interesting to have that aspect of the club. And people end up having a great time regardless. Some people can be closed-minded about it. They're just like, oh, I'm not going. I can't stand it. But then they go and they're just like, I have been drink and loosen up. And, you know, not all people are going to hit on you. You know, like me, I'm only attracted to people who are attracted to me. So why would I be attracted to a straight man? That's weird. I would never hit on a straight man. Ugh, the thought of it is just weird. But those men who do that, they're very cool with it. It's like, oh, okay, you're straight. You know, I don't want to be all over you then. It's like, oh, I have a girlfriend. Yeah, okay, cool. Next. There's plenty of quote-unquote fish in the sea. So, you know, it's just really cool that people are open-minded, not closed-minded, and stuck into that whole biblical stuff that's way old and makes no sense whatsoever. Just if you're not comfortable in your own skin, then you don't need to be around it. I think people who are so judgmental are those who are really, how do they say about, there's a thing about heterosexual people who are aggressive toward gay people. That means they have some secret desire about men. That's what it's saying to them. But like I said, those straight men who are comfortable in their skin, they don't care about that. They're just like, whatever. You're attracted to what you're attracted to. I'm attracted to what I'm attracted to. So, any woman or man who is very aggressive and push all that biblical stuff against them, they're really having some type of secret fantasy about the same sex. And it's really sad to know that you have to keep pushing it away, but deep down inside you want something, but you try to throw the Bible out there or what society says about it in there to make yourself feel better. So that's what that's all about, and it's really interesting to know that facts are proven to be true about that. So anyway, this got too deep, but yes, I definitely believe heterosexual men and heterosexual women should go to gay and straight clubs, whatever. I go to straight clubs, I have a great time. People don't bother me, I don't bother people, so yep, all good. Oh, another thing, you know what I love about heterosexual women who love to go to gay bars and clubs? They feel more comfortable in the gay bars than they do at the straight bars. There's not all that male aggression there, all those drunk, aggressive men trying to hit on them, and they can let their hair down, be really free there. So if a man or woman who is there that hits on a straight woman, they're just like, oh, it's cool, you know. But, you know, it's just really strange how when a man goes there who's not comfortable in his own skin, they get hit on by another man, they just go ballistic. They're just like, I gotta get out of here before I whoop somebody's butt. And I'm just like, why bring it to that level? Why can't you just be cool with it and just be like, oh, I'm not interested? It's just really weird to me how men and women treat other people. Yeah, I just wanted to add that, though.
Well, in my opinion, a bar is a bar. Who cares if it's gay or not? It's still a bar, you know. Yes, man of God, but we're not living in biblical times anymore. We're living in the 21st century. We're living in 2017. It is okay to be gay. It is okay to be transgender. Do you really think God gives a crap if a person is gay or a person is transgender? I think God has bigger fish to fry than worrying about if a person's gay or transgender or not. That's actually none of my business, really, if they're gay or transgender. That is their life. They have to live it. We are not living in the time of the Bible. We are living in the 21st century in 2017 in modern times. God could care less if a person's gay. God could care less if they're transgender. Like I said, God has bigger things to worry about whether or not a person is gay or transgender. I think God has more important things to do than worry about crap like that.
Bismuth. Menaga, my friend. Okay, if you follow all those things that you just said, the Bible, Jesus Christ, are you not Christian? What do you call yourself then? So I don't get it. And I had no problem you bring it out in public, because you put it in public, then you have to get a response in public. So then what are you? If you're not a Christian and you do follow Jesus Christ and all those, are you a Jehovah's Witness? They are Christian. Are you Jewish? No, Jewish people don't follow Jesus Christ. Are you Muslim? No. They do believe in Jesus as a prophet, but no. So, what? But, that's a different story. Whatever you want to be, go for it, have fun, enjoy yourself. More power to you, my friend. So, don't get upset. If you put a question here in public, you're going to get a response in public from people. So, I did respond to you also in private, because you sent me something in private, but come on. You don't want people to respond, then put a question in there, my friend. Take care of yourself, enjoy your night, and have a good weekend. And where is my super chicken?
Honestly, the only reason why I wouldn't go to a bar is because they're not for me. Because I'm not a people person. I don't like to go out at night. I like to stay home. But if I were a people person, I would go everywhere I possibly could go to socialize. I'd go to gay bars, I'd go to lesbian bars, I'd go to straight bars. A bar is a bar. But bars aren't for everyone. In the case of gay and lesbian bars, LGBT bars, transgender bars, whatever bar they are, like I said, you have to be extremely open-minded, because when these people go to clubs, gay clubs, or just regular clubs in general, even if it's a gay person or a gay couple or a group of gay or lesbian people going out to a club to have fun, they go out to have fun. They want to be happy. So if you're homophobic and so against LGBTQ, and again, I speak for the LGBTQ community when I say this, don't ruin it for us. Keep your homophobic thoughts to yourself and stay at home. You want to be miserable because you hate the fact that gay people go out to places to have fun, where they can be accepted without judgment. You want to be homophobic. You want to be this and you want to be that. Then stay home. Stay home, cook your food, whatever you do, stay home
and wallow in your misery, in your hatefulness, but don't go out to clubs and ruin it for us gays and lesbians and all those people. And I know I'm coming across as sounding exclusive, like I don't want to include other people, but you know what? I don't care. 'Cause you know what? When I want to go out to have fun, I don't want to have homophobic people around me. So stay home if you are against gay people, or go places reserved for people who are against gay people. Go to your churches, stick to your Bibles, leave the rest of us gays and lesbians alone. Seriously. LGBT community doesn't need you. Just like you don't need us, well, we don't need you either. So leave us alone.
Hey, okay, well, I think I'm probably going to say something slightly different to everyone else, just because, well, for a start, I'm gay, and if I was, like, with a group of people, and I had some friends who were heterosexual, then, you know, we might consider going to a gay bar and hanging out or whatever, and that would be cool. But I have got some friends who will just be like, oh, let's go to a gay bar just for the experience. You know, so just a few straight people who don't have any kind of gay friends in their midst will just kind of go to the gay bars or whatever, just to sort of like, oh, it's a novelty. Oh, I'm with like gay people in a gay bar. Like, oh, a bit of a thrill, and almost like it's a bit of a spectacle. So from that angle, I'm not quite sure. I know straight girls that will go because they'll be like, oh, because, you know, no one will hit on me and like, and whatever. And I just think that it's sort of, you know, making it a bit, it's sort of cheapening it, I suppose, a little bit. I mean, not to say that they shouldn't go, but that's just sort of my kind of misgivings, I guess, about it. Yeah, that's all I've got to say, really.
Well, I definitely would go to a bar like that. I'm heterosexual, but I am open-minded, and I think it's a great way, like you said, to meet new friends. There's no pressure, there's no obligation to find somebody that you want to possibly pick out and see about dating or getting to know, other than just being a friend and having a drink with people. I'm definitely open to that, for sure. I have friends who are in the community, and, I've got great friends that live the lifestyle, and I'm not opposed to them. I accept people for who they are from all walks of life. So, yeah, I definitely would go to a bar like that.
Sure, why shouldn't they go to LGBT bars? I've never been to one myself, but I'd go to one in a heartbeat. So why not? Why shouldn't they?
I've gone to an LGBT bar, and it was great. It was called the Soco Club, and it was in Columbia, Missouri, and sadly they're out of business now. But I went one New Year's, and no one really messed with me. You know, one girl was like, do you want to make out? And I was like, no, not particularly, but I hope you find someone. I was really drunk, and yeah, it was my first time there, and I'm like, wow, some girl just asked me to make out. I don't know how to take this, but okay. So then I went out and got another drink, and I was like, all right. So then we go upstairs where they're doing karaoke, and some guy's singing Silent Night, and I'm like, wow. And then they started singing theater tunes, and I was like, really? So my friend jumps up there and starts singing Hero, and everybody goes nuts. I get up there and totally screw up Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas. So the next year, I dragged my current husband out there for a visit to the place. It wasn't on New Year's, it was another day. And my friend sat there, and he's blind, and I swear he has no social skills.
So he's playing with his scanner the whole night. My husband's watching the drag show on the monitor over the bar. I'm drinking and talking to my husband and my friend and other people in the bar, and we're just having a good old time. My friend's really not interacting even with me, and I'm just having a great time, and my husband's having a good time, and well, my husband and I end up going back New Year's, and my friend meets up with us again, and we get some food and some drinks, and we have a good old time. We had champagne at New Year's, and I plan on going back like in February and taking my husband for Valentine's Day, to have a little Valentine's Day fun out there, get some drinks, and then we hear on the news that the place was closed. I cried. And I was really upset because it was the nicest place I could go to. I felt safe there. I honestly felt like the bouncers would honestly protect me. And like the bartender knew me, knew what drinks I liked. If I wanted food, she knew what I liked. I felt at home there more than I did at any other bar in town. Not to mention it was only a $4 cab ride from my house. So that helped. But yeah, it was like great. And then, of course, right across the street, you had a church. And oftentimes you'd have protesters standing outside during the bar's business hours protesting. I'm like, go away. But yeah, we had a guy on the last New Year's Eve that I was there. I was really drunk and I could not climb in the cab. He was in full drag. We're talking dress, heels, makeup. My husband's laughing over here next to me, by the way, because he's remembering the story. He just picks me up and tosses me in the cab and goes, "Now y'all have a good night." I'm like, dang. So, yeah, that was fun. I didn't think a guy in a dress could lift a 300-pound woman and throw her in a cab. But he did it. My husband goes, "Nice dress." We all started laughing, even the guy. He goes, "Thanks." So we had fun. That New Year's, I was standing out there talking to the drag performers most of the night, so smoking cigarettes. So yeah, even though I was part of the LDS church, I still went to the bar. And then I got really into the LDS church and I quit drinking and all that. I still smoke, but I don't really drink anymore, so. But that's my experience going to an LGBT bar. It was fun.